Hey, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the Brown Gent. The scroll ecosystem is one that many people are trying to put their own sort of stranglehold on. And as we farm, there are getting fewer and fewer opportunities for us to make those five-figure airdrops. Now, Scroll is one of the few projects left that are going on right now that I think have that potential for a regular person to make five figures. So if you're interested in learning a bit more about that and sort of what you can do to supplement that with Canvas, let me sort of show you. And let me walk you through that process. So before we get into it, just remember, none of this is financial advice. I'm just a guy on YouTube. Please do your own research. I'm just a guy on YouTube. And if you're interested in getting extra coaching, guidance, and support, make sure you check out the Web3 Secret Society. Links to join are in the description below. Join the 250 or so people who found value in this group. And also make sure to follow me on all social medias. Follow me on Twitter for updates, and also follow me on the bank where I will give updates as well on what's going on. And I'm also going to do giveaways. Now, the primary directive that most people have is to ensure that you're maximizing on your scroll marks, right? So this is apparently supposed to be one of the biggest drivers towards a scroll airdrop. And if you have been around for the previous airdrops for Ethereum L2s, you know that in terms of EVM airdrops, at least, the Arbitrum airdrop was massive. ZK airdrop, if you provided liquidity, was massive. And we're expecting the Scroll, the Linea, and the Chroma airdrop to also be ginormous. Now, the Scroll sessions is the primary factor that's going to drive your airdrop value. And that reason for that is it's very liquidity based, and we've seen in the most recent times that that's what protocols are valuing. So you guys already know what to do here. Make sure you're doing what you need to do. If you are curious and you want more guidance on how to do that, check out my Scroll airdrop guide where I show you exactly the things you need to do to make sure you maximize your Scroll airdrop allocation. Please don't fade this video and then come back later and call Scroll a scam when you get nothing. Make sure you're out there grinding hard right now, because these opportunities won't exist for long and they're getting harder and harder. Now, one more thing I did want to point out is Scroll is now the #1 ZK rollup with the highest TVL in the category. So it's not the highest Ethereum L2 TVL, but it's the highest ZK rollup with the highest TVL. And basically, they were saying once the ETF launches, which it did, which it did yesterday, well, it's supposed to capture a lot of interest, and hopefully we will start seeing that soon. Now, on top of just doing the liquidity approach, there's an opportunity to get an on-chain footprint with activity. And the way you do that is by getting a Scroll canvas. So if you're interested in minting one, I put the link in the description below. It will save you 50% on the cost to get it. That number, the 64, it represents sort of your on-chain footprint. The more you do on Scroll, the higher this will go. And conversely, the less you do, the less this will be. Think of this as sort of your activity heartbeat. Now, I was looking for some good summaries on this because I've done most of these. And I saw a good tweet by Cape, and he basically talks about how to unlock, and he says every single badge, but the reality is it's most of them. And yes, he's right. Most of crypto Twitter is focused on farming Scroll with liquidity. The newly announced badges remain largely untouched. I don't know if that part is really that true, but what I will say is this will not be, if you only could do one of two things, focus on liquidity. If you have the time, and I'm saying this because I know many of you love to farm testnets, focus on stuff like this instead. Get as many badges as possible. Obviously, look at the return on investment. We're going to talk about what that means in a little bit, but I think there's some potential here. Okay. Now, you're going to get this as well for doing some volume and using some gas. So the first badge is a default. The moment you mint your canvas, go back here, right? The moment you mint your canvas, you have your canvas and you go to your badges and you click on mint eligible badges and it will show you what's available. So here's one for Symbiosis that I still have to do. But when you first load it, you'll see Ethereum show up, and that will be the default badge you should have, which is your Ethereum year. When did you join? Okay. And that is basically anyone can mint. The older your wallet, the better the quality of the badge. Okay. The next one is Gitcoin. As you know, I've done a video guide talking to you about how to get your Gitcoin passport. And this is something that I recommend if you haven't already. Looks like I've been slacking on my humanity score because this used to be like in the 50s. All that means is probably some of my badges have run out, but honestly, I don't need it right now. As long as you have a score above 20, you're able to mint on scroll. So make sure you click on the mint on scroll button. And once you do, it'll pop up again under the badges for you to mint. So it'll pop up over here for you to do. Okay. So I got my unique humanity score right there. The next one is, or the next couple are on Ambient. So you'll get the swapper badge if you swap 500 or more on Ambient. Remember, you've got to do it on scroll because Ambient supports multiple networks. So basically, my recommendation is just swap 500 USDC to USDT. If you do it once, it's not a problem, and you don't really pay any of those swap fee, maybe like $1 or $2. The next is depositing 1,000 into liquidity, and finally, sort of doing a limit order of 500 or more. So if you go over here, if you go to swap, I'll show you right here what you could do. You could literally just put, $500 into 500 USDC. It's going to cost you 80 cents plus gas. That's your swap. If you go to trade, you're able to then do the trade over here. You can do the same thing. So now you can go to the USDC and you put 500 and you put limit order and you can sort of select, how much you want to get. This one will be harder. So in this case, I will look to do Ethereum actually, only because Ethereum will move up and down. You can make money actually buying Ethereum at a lower price. As you know, we've dipped from the ETF. And then finally, sort of looking at your pool. So, looking at depositing liquidity. So by doing that, you will get the swapper, the provider, and the filler badge. Now, to get the Yeet badge, you have to deposit a large amount of liquidity in a single position. I haven't done this yet, but basically, apparently you're supposed to keep trying until you get it. One of the biggest challenges I have with Scroll is the network is very, very slow, and sometimes transactions take forever. Sometimes it just goes by like this, so it's a little confusing. But the Yeet badge is, once again, don't focus on that. That is a little more challenging. Wait until that number is finalized. Because remember, there is no rush. You don't get any extra bonuses for having the badge today versus tomorrow. So don't worry about that. The Canvas badges will likely only matter once the entire Scroll Marks campaign is over, right? So the Scroll Sessions campaign is over. So focus on that. The next thing I would say is there's the Penta protocol. I've used a screenshot here because I'm on VPN. What you got to do is you want to go in here and you want to deposit different amounts of ETH. So you get the P badge for 0.1. You get the S badge for 0.501. So make sure you do that. And once you put at least 0.501 in, you'll get both of these badges. Once again, all you've got to do is go back to your Scroll canvas and you're able to mint that in your badge right here. I do see some comments here in the chat. So glad you enjoyed the banger. And yeah, I are nobody. This is not a video that we will be discussing that. This is for Scroll. If you want to ask those questions, you're in the Web3 Secret Society. So please wait for the video to be done. And I'm happy to answer that question, okay? Because I want to make sure we keep this video very focused. The final one that he's covered is what's called the Scroller NFT. And basically, this is a mint that has already passed us by. Do not pay the market price on OpenSea for this badge. They tell you to sort of pick one up on OpenSea. Well, when you go to OpenSea, the current price is 0.06 ETH, right? Before I shot this video, 0.1. But if you look at the activity tab, you can actually find that people are getting them for 0.016 and like, a little cheaper. Do not be that person who pays $100 for this NFT. It's not worth it. If you're paying more than $10 to $20 for this NFT, no thanks. There is no benefit at this time for having that specific badge. But guys, remember, this is all about risk versus reward. There is literally no benefit to spending oodles of money just to add another badge to your collection. Just wait for people to start getting desperate to sell this, because it looks like only 0.3% of this NFT are listed, right? And there is 8,054 owners, right? So there's 8216 items in general. And by the way, guys, this was created in June 2024. What that tells you is the people who got into this early and jumped in, look how much money they were making. So despite what you may think about this space being super crowded, like super crowded, you definitely you definitely want to make sure that you definitely want to make sure that you look for these opportunities, right? And that's a very good point. So NW says pencils is KYC on withdrawal. Yeah, so that's a very good thing to sort of verify. Um, just so you guys know, I may have be using a VPN. I wasn't aware of this, so thank you for flagging that. So guys, before you get the pencil badge, before you go for it, make sure that you check if whether or not you will need KYC to withdraw, which is obviously really weird because they should have KYC on deposit as well. That's just bogus. Let's be honest here. It's a way for projects to do this are effectively trying to scam people, hoping that they can use a technicality to justify stealing from you, which is absolutely absurd. Okay. And by the way, there will be other ways for you to manage that, but we won't go through how to do that on this video. I mean, I still see the comment here. I hear nobody, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. Anyways, guys, I hope this made a lot of sense. I hope this provided some clarity on how you can work toward getting your Scroll Canvas badge. What you need to do is focus always on what the most important thing is. The most important thing for you guys will always be this scroll session. Get this number up as high as possible. This is what's going to drive your airdrop. Everything else you do may add a small step. And I just want to say shout out to Sandwich Punch, who I haven't seen in a long time. Stopping by, dropping in to say I appreciate you. Thanks to hear from you, dude. Dude, we've got to catch up soon. I hope everything's going well. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And until next time, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.